You are about to view Group 6's Jayhawkville USD Curriculum Plan for Math, Kindergarten through 12th grade. Group 6 consists of 4 members, Katie Black, Taylor Gudgel, Stephanie Hay, and Kristen Jenkins. Welcome! Our group welcomes you to our proposal for implementing a new curriculum planning process as we transition from the current state math standards into the 21st century through the integration of National Common Core State Standards for math. Here are a list of our goals for this presentation. First, to provide an overview of the Jayhawkville School District. Then, to examine the need and role Common Core State Standards will play in the math curriculum. Then third, analyze a goal-based approach for the curriculum planning process. In the next few slides, you will be learning about the current characteristics of Jayhawkville USD. Instead of clicking the picture to watch the video, please click the link in the comments section. Jayhawkville has many strengths and successes. The elementary schools advocate for student-centered learning with the incorporation of technology. They also have many experienced teachers and overall have high-performing test scores. The middle schools are dedicated to creating lifelong learners and also have experienced teachers with low turnover rate. They also have overall proficient test scores. The high schools focus on high academic standards. They are also community-oriented and place an emphasis on creating successful, holistic students. The alternative schools in the district offer specialized programs to mentor and support students, provide opportunities for adult learning and self-improvement, and also use innovative and up-to-date resources targeting 21st century skills. There are also growing areas of concern within the district. Within the elementary schools, there is a lack of professional development opportunities, discrepancies in student population and school size, and limited sufficient resources available for all students. In the middle schools, there is an unbalanced diversity in student populations. There are also inconsistent academic goals, as well as a lack of sufficient student performance data. In the high schools, there is inconsistency of available data. Half of the high schools are also not proficient. There is also a lack of equally distributed resources among high schools in the district. The alternative schools have a lack of consistency within each school's mission statement, and also funding is not equally allocated among all of the schools. Please watch the video by clicking the link below to gain an understanding of the origin of Common Core State Standards, how they have been implemented, their effects on education, and how they are useful for evaluating academic success in the 21st century. In today's world, students are expected to graduate from their K-12 school and be college and career ready. In order to ensure that this occurs for all students growing up in the United States, the Common Core State Standards were created. The Common Core State Standards establish clear, consistent guidelines for what every student should know and be able to do in math and English language arts, from kindergarten through 12th grade. NEA Today gathered a group of educators from across the country and asked about their personal experience with the Common Core. During the discussions, there were 6 positive reasons why Common Core are effective. These reasons include putting creativity back into the classroom, giving students a deep background knowledge to utilize, ratcheting up rigor, being collaborative, advancing equity, and getting students college and career ready. There are many supporters for the Common Core State Standards. Some of these supporters are Jeb Bush, Latha Krishnair, Bill Gates, Benjamin Freakley, and Michael Cohen. Please take a moment now and read the quotes from these supporters. Here are a few of the successes that the Common Core State Standards have had for math. First, the ability to explain math rather than just do the math. Students practice mathematical ways of thinking with the real-world applications. Second, Common Core State Standards aims not only for procedural skill and fluency, but also mastery in applying math skills and in understanding math concepts. An example of success with Common Core State Standards occurred in Kentucky, which was the first state to adopt Common Core in 2010. Since adopting, Kentucky has seen graduation rates go up and math scores continuing to rise. Next, we will discuss our goal-based model that we propose we use for the curriculum planning process. Next, we will discuss our goal-based model that we propose we use for the curriculum planning process. First, develop awareness and knowledge of Common Core State Standards. Second, differentiate between district and school-based responsibilities. Third, determine organizational structures, assigning an advisory council and task forces as necessary. Fourth, allocate specific leadership roles to district and school staff. There are multiple different sources that support the goal-based models. Here are a few of their quotes. Now we will focus on the timeline for our curriculum planning process. First, we will look at the overview. Then we will break each step down. Step 1. Construct appropriate organizational structures. Step 2. Establish a curriculum framework. Step 3. Submit framework, rationale, and philosophy for approval. Step 4. Approved framework is given to District Curriculum Advisory Council and Curricular Task Force Committee to construct. Step 5. Submit scope and sequence, goals, learning outcomes, and authentic tasks to be approved by individual schools, superintendent, and Board of Education. Step 6. District Curriculum Task Force Committee constructs a math curriculum database, including textbook and software adoption, benchmarks for academic performance indicators, creation of rigorous common assessments. Step 7. Plan professional development opportunities for math teachers within the district to update content knowledge, provide instructional materials, and work collaboratively to gain a better understanding of new standards. Step 8. Establish an ongoing curriculum evaluation process. Here you can see the flow of the events in our curriculum planning process. Next, we will take a detailed look at each step in our curriculum planning process. Step 1. Construct appropriate organizational structures. One of those is the District Curriculum Advisory Council. Members are to be appointed by the Superintendent, Victor Smart, for this council. Members will meet 4 times a year to identify problems, plan calendars, evaluate resources, and review curriculum processes. Members will include Superintendent, District Curriculum Director, math teachers, community representatives, parents, principals, and possibly secondary students. The next one is Local School Advisory Council, nominated by faculty and appointed by the principal. It also includes parents, teachers, principals, and subject matter specialists. This group helps advise the principal on Common Core curriculum issues. The next is a Curriculum Task Force Committee for Math. This is 6 to 12 highly qualified math teachers appointed by the superintendent. They work to establish a deadline for developing math curriculum and providing resources for implementation. To the right, you will see that there are a few questions that need to be answered by all of these councils. These questions center around the learners, teachers, leadership, and school community. Step 2. Establish a curriculum framework for math. A committee of math teachers from K through 12 need to create an appropriate rationale statement as well as write a program philosophy. This committee should meet 3 to 4 times during the school year to complete these tasks. It's also essential for the committee to have a deep understanding of the district's mission, vision, and graduation outcomes. The framework, rationale statement, and philosophy need to reflect the values of one another as well as be aligned with the Common Core state standards. Over to the right, you will see 2 different quotes about this step. Step 3. Submit a framework, rationale, and philosophy for approval to individual schools who need to spend a week evaluating each statement, making comments, corrections, and revisions. Notes: a math task force will reconvene to discuss school suggestions and make appropriate revisions. You also need to submit the framework to the superintendent, who receives completed rationale and approves it prior to sending it to the school board. You also need to submit your framework to the School Board of Education. After approving the rationale, framework, and philosophy, the board will send these documents back to the Curriculum Math Task Force Committee and District Curriculum Advisory Council. Each group or individual is given a week to approve the program philosophy with additions, corrections, or deletions. Over to the right, you will see a flow chart of this process for developing a philosophy and rationale. Step 4. The approved framework is given to District Curriculum Advisory Council and Curricular Task Force Committee to construct, align, scope and sequence, goals, learning outcomes, and authentic tasks. All curriculum materials are to be aligned with the Common Core state standards. The Council and Committee are given 10 days to complete the task and must be aware of the process for developing a course of study for math. Over to the right, you will see 2 quotes that are about this step. Step 5. Now it is time to submit the aligned scope and sequence, goals, learning outcomes, and authentic tasks to be approved by individual schools, the superintendent, and the Board of Education. It is also time to make any additions, corrections, or deletions suggested by any of the above. The superintendent and school board will ultimately be responsible for approving the district-wide adoption of the Common Core math curriculum. Over to the right, you will also see another quote about this step. Step 6. Once through the approval stage, District Curriculum Task Force Committee will meet to discuss math instructional materials. District Curriculum Task Force Committee constructs a math curriculum database including textbook and software adoption. Teachers will form a committee evaluation and rank each math series in consideration. The top 3 series will be presented to the Math Curriculum Task Force Committee, which will then be voted on and approved by superintendent and school board. Benchmarks for academic performance indicators, and creation of rigorous common assessments, promoting higher order thinking and application of knowledge. Step 7. Plan professional development opportunities for math teachers within the district to update content knowledge and make teachers aware of new math courses of study. Provide instructional materials before and after math curricular implementation, and work collaboratively to gain a better understanding of new standards. Teachers need time together in order to align their lessons to ensure the success of their students. Step 8. Establish an ongoing curriculum evaluation process. First, plan a calendar, which allows the district leaders to create systematic plans for curriculum evaluation and development, and also map out a 5-year plan. Then, conduct a needs assessment, which is used to direct curricular change, monitors learning targets and assessment data, and provides ongoing feedback to improve student performance. Over to the right, you will see a flow chart for the process for implementing a change to the curriculum. Here you will see the timeline broken down into the exact segments of time that each step in this curriculum planning process will take. Here we will look at the roles of each stakeholder. Take a moment to become acquainted with the Jayhawkville USD stakeholders. Next, we will take a look at each individual stakeholder within this process. First, we have the superintendent, Victor Smart. He makes executive decisions on budget, staff, facilities, spending, educational programs, and curriculum implementation. He also works with school leaders and the community to serve the needs of the students while meeting district goals. Also, he appoints members of the District Curriculum Advisory Council, as well as with the Math Curriculum Task Force Committee. Next, we have the Assistant Superintendent for Academics, who provides systematic curriculum leadership and is known as the sole individual exercising supervision over the entire curriculum, and is also responsible for organizing and directing the activities of the local school advisory councils and Math Curriculum Task Force Committee. Next, we have the School Board, which is the locally elected school board which sets the vision and goals for the district and must approve all math curriculum additions and modifications and district-wide curriculum development. The next few stakeholders are the district and local school advisory council. These are members appointed by the superintendent, and the size varies depending on the size of the district. This group will meet 4 times a year and is represented by members who should include the superintendent, district curriculum director, principals, teachers, parents, and secondary school students. The job of this council is to collaboratively identify problems, review planning calendars, receive evaluation reports, and review curriculum proposals. Next, we have the Math Curriculum Task Force Committee. These members are appointed by the superintendent to deal with any major issue that needs attention. The size of this group varies from 6 to 12 members and includes a curriculum specialist, principal, and several knowledgeable teachers. It is also given a specific problem to solve, a deadline for developing and implementing the solution, and the resources required to do the job. Then we have the principals, who appoints members for his or her own local school advisory council, needs to address how schools will interface with larger global network, is in charge of cultivating, developing, and continuously supporting individual leaders in their jobs, and needs to serve as a leader who is knowledgeable on Math Common Core and how to implement them into the new math curriculum. The next stakeholders that we will look at are the teachers, who are nominated by faculty and appointed by principal to serve on the local school advisory council. Math teachers appointed by superintendent for the Curriculum Task Force Committee, and math staff or of local schools who will participate in the voting process for math curriculum materials, including textbook and software adoptions. Teachers must attend professional development opportunities offered by the school and the district. Then we have parents who are appointed parents will serve on the local school advisory council. They will also help advise the principal on Common Core issues, attend district-wide workshops to learn more about the new Common Core state standards, and join a school improvement council to help make curricular suggestions or to address concerns. Then we have the community, and community trust, especially from a cultural perspective, is definitely becoming an essential ingredient in the school's success. Within a school community, a number of major groups and subgroups have interests in the schools or are affected by the educational system. These groups can be considered the major stakeholders in the community of interest. The community brings in the voices of the population, which includes political, multicultural, and commercial leaders, as well as the social service and educational personnel, along with student and parent populations. We will now look at our conclusion of the curriculum planning process. With the implementation of the Common Core State Math Standards in the Jayhawkville Unified School District, we plan to see consistent academic goals throughout the schools, more professional development opportunities for teachers, more student and teacher resources, clear performance data, growth in academic performance, student-centered learning, and the utilization and growth of PLCs. On the following 3 slides, you will see our resources that we used in order to create our curriculum planning process.